Hello and welcome back here for episode 24 as we are now in the month of October and our poplar is getting close, but it's not quite there, but we do have a sugar beet field ready to go. But we're going to start off with selling a bunch of bells. Now to do this, I'm going to go ahead and get another bell trailer, this one that does auto load for us, just to make it much easier because we have a lot of bells and I'm going to be honest, I don't want to stack those manually. I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to do it. I'm going to justify it because we have everything to do it manually. I just don't want to. There's a lot of them. Okay. So we're gonna get these bells loaded up here, get them sold, and then we're gonna move on to doing some other things. But I did want to mention that I do have a goal for this episode, and I want to make $800,000 from different products before this episode is over. So that's our goal for this episode. We're gonna start with the silage bells, but we're also gonna start with harvesting some sugar beets, which again, if you remember from the last episode, triggers off a whole bunch of other events. Like we have to do some plowing, we have to do some liming, fertilizing, and then planting, then fertilize again. So there's a lot of stuff involved with harvesting. Let's get our little train set up here, head over to our other field, get that all harvested, and then we're gonna take these bells and get them sold. I'm gonna go ahead and hire a worker to get started on doing the sugar beet field. We have another worker set up on this trailer to do the carting from our harvester over to our production. So we can run over, grab the other tractor and get those bales sold at the BGA. Or at least we're gonna attempt to, because we're gonna run into some issues once we get over there. Alright, so first issue we're going to encounter here is I've never used this trailer with square bells. I've only used it with round bells. It works great with round bells. As you can just see here, it overloads it with square bells and explodes. It's like explosive diarrhea of bells. But we're going to have to push these up here, get them sold. The other issue is it's not selling from the trailer, so I'm not sure why. I have a feeling the trigger just isn't in the right place to work with this bell trailer. Might be too high or something like that. So that is another issue. I think going forward we'll probably just take our bells to the farm because I know that trigger works fine. We are on our way over to the farm with our second load of bells when I realize I forgot about the auto drive workers who are carting the sugar beets from the field to our cut sugar beet production. Whoopsie. So we'll have to back all the way up, let him through, and then head over to the farm and get these bells sold. And we're gonna make some good money from all of these bells, which was quite a few. We have a ton of bells and that equals a ton of silage. So in total, from what we made from the BGA selling there, which was had the whole fiasco, and what we're selling over here, we're going to end up making a total of $259,763, which is absolutely amazing.
I will go if nothing changes. So change your heart. Ooh, your mind is a ghost town, echoing inside your walls, 5 feet underground now. Nothing's gonna save us from our doubts. Nothing's gonna make us spell it out. I don't wanna be the one that said, oh, I told you so, but I told you so. My kingdom on lockdown. You never give me any chance. Watch me on my way out. Nothing's gonna save us from our doubts. Nothing's gonna make us spell it out. I don't wanna be the one that said, oh, I told you so, but I told you so.
So the sugar beets are all harvested. We're going to take this back to the shop yard and load the rest of the sugar beets into the production. And we're going to come back here and we're going to do some plowing, some liming, some fertilizing, some planting, and then some more fertilizing. However, we are going to be planting a different crop in this field. So as I kind of have mentioned before, my goal with the poplar, at least until we get, the farm, is I want to have a crop of poplar, ready to harvest about every 3 or 4 months. So I kind of been staggering planting fields with poplar about every 3 or 4 months. And we've been about 3 months, I think 3 or 4 months since our last time we planted poplar. So we're going to plant that field we just harvested with poplars. Probably, maybe, eventually, once we get the farm, get enough money to get the farm, we might switch it to a different crop though. But for now, it's all about trying to get those Benjamins so we can buy the farm, which means planting poplar.
I feel so alive as I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay, 'cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. 'Cause I found my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. I found my way, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way, I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay, 'cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. 'Cause I found my way, my way, my way, my way, my way.
As we finish plowing up the rest of this field here, be sure and leave a like and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this episode and this video so far. Hope you have been enjoying it. So with the plowing all done, we're gonna hop in our other tractor and start liming this field. Now we will partway through here run out of lime, so we'll have to run back over the farm, buy some more lime, but we will get it all limed up, and then we're gonna start on planting some poplars. We finished putting all the lime down, we finished planting the poplars in the field, and then we put down our final layer of fertilizer, so that field is ready to go. So we're gonna head back to the shop, get everything put away, cleaned up, and ready to go. And then we're gonna head over to our auxiliary yard for the shop and do a little quick build to expand the shop business a little bit and increase our revenue as far as how much we're gonna make off of the sugar beets. Now we still have that goal of making $800,000, and we'll do that. I'm pretty positive we'll do that because we already have almost 260,000 just from our silage bells, and we are going to hit the remainder of that with selling cut sugar beets, which I think we need about 541,000 if my math is correct, I think. But we have more than enough sugar beets to do that, and we also are going to load up the new production we're putting, which is a sugar production. However, it does take a while for it to make sugar, so we're we're going to definitely load it up, but we have a ton of cut sugar beets, so we're not going to put all of them in because that would take forever for it to process, and we want some money. I want to get to 800,000. I mean, it's been slow going so far, and I want to start speeding it up. And in the next probably episode or two, we're going to start harvesting poplars, and once we do that, we're going to start moving quickly towards that $10 million. So if you have not already, you want to be sure and subscribe so you don't miss out, because we are getting really close to getting the farm. I think we'll probably hit that. I would say probably in the next well, I'm hoping next 10 episodes, but I think it might even be less than that. But I'm gonna say next 10 episodes just to play it safe. Wanted to put down some more decorations to kind of give this area some more, make it look nicer, more natural to hide the productions. But anyways, we got 480,000 liters of cut sugar beets delivered over to our sugar factory, and we're going to take the rest of what's in there and deliver that to the sell point so we can push for the remaining of the $800,000 that we need to get to make our goal for this episode. Now, to make this a little bit quicker, we're going to grab a second trailer so we can do 2 loads at once just to save some time. All right, we needed to make $541,000 to meet our goal of making $800,000 in this episode, and we are really close. And this final load here, which is only a partial load, will just barely get us over that to a total of, from the sugar beets, of $573,264, which gives us a grand total of $833,027 in this episode, which is absolutely amazing to make that much in one episode. But that ain't nothing, because in our next couple episodes, we're going to start making some serious money from the poppers. So be sure and stick around for our next couple episodes as we push forward to that $10 million.